Thank you for tuning in to Sharing with Sheri. I am your host, Sheri. Thanks, welcome back. I have a special guest for you today talking about a really crazy topic, right? So I want to introduce to you the lovely Jina Direnzo. Yes, my girl. Oh my God. I am like, this is like the best thing ever to have your girlfriend on your show talking about just everything that we already talked about. Like, for real. Like, just having a girl talk. So, what's up, girl? What's up? I know everybody's like, okay, y'all need to get right down to it.
Go right into it. They want to hear how we talk when we're on the phone about all this stuff.
Girl, when we're on, they don't want to know what we talk about outside of this conversation. It's like, it can get really crazy.
No, they really do.
They probably be like tuning in with popcorn, girl. So just jump right into it then. Okay, so we're talking about relationships, and this subject is regarding, is it okay for you to have like a close relationship, friendship with your ex when you're with someone? You're in a relationship and you're still like hanging out with your ex, you're still like, I don't know, talking to your ex, like, is it okay?
My initial reaction to that is no.
Why?
Okay. When you're in a relationship, it's an intimate relationship.
Yeah.
So if you are still dealing with your ex in a way, even though it may just be totally innocent, you're still having a relationship with them that's emotional.
True.
It's still an emotional relationship.
True.
Because you shared the same intimacy you shared with me, you shared with them.
Very true.
So I'm not sharing my partner in that way. So
got you. All right, is it an insecurity thing? Like, if he makes you feel secure, if he says, I want you to meet her.
See, to me, there's a lot of levels to this. Okay. Because one, it depends how long were you guys together? How did you guys break up?
Right.
You know, what's everything behind all of that? What type of female is she?
Okay.
Because I don't trust females.
Oh,
we've had this discussion.
The plot thickens.
So
yes.
What really are your intentions? You know, are you that catty
right.
chick? So when you come around and you're needy for attention and you're, hi, how are you? And
right.
Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with none of that.
So what if he says, I want you to trust? I want to have complete trust and open and autonomy with you, and I want you to meet her. She's like, you know, one of my really close friends, and we're still really good friends, and so I just want you to like hang out with us and see how you feel about like my friendship with her. Would that make you feel more comfortable?
No.
Why not?
Because this is my thing. I'm fine with my partner being friends with females of the opposite sex. What will never be okay with me, and just is going to boundaries, is in any way you sitting on the phone with females all day, you texting other females all the time, you personally hanging out with other females, lunch, dinner, in houses, etc. I'm not okay with any of that.
Now you mentioned something about not trusting women.
No.
Why do you not trust women? Where is that coming from? Because I feel like that is a universal issue with all of us, you know.
It is.
And thankfully, I text you all the time, and I tell you how thankful I am for you,
and I feel the same
and
about you.
us building this friendship. But I just want to know, like, where your thoughts are with that. Why are we so distrustful of other women?
I think it's because when you have a few bad experiences, it makes it impossible to allow another woman in, especially when it's somebody that's tried to come in between your relationships. Now you have your guard up on letting females around your relationships, letting them know stuff about your man. It's a very tricky line. Like,
got you. For me,
I've explained my experiences to you, so you understand where I'm coming from.
Where you're coming from.
Yes.
For me, I really feel like if he says to me, I want you to meet her, and I want you to be comfortable with me being friends with her, and if you're not comfortable, then I'm just gonna eliminate that friendship. I think I would probably work with them. I would be like, okay, I'll meet her, because I really feel like I have a sixth sense about people.
Yeah.
And you can really, like, I feel like we all, as a human being, have that sixth sense. We all don't tap into it, but I feel like we all do.
Yeah.
And I feel like on some level you can sense if a woman is still in love with a man.
Yes, you can.
Or you can sense if they still want that person.
Yes, you can.
You know, and so you can just sense that. There's something about the soul when you're connected with someone, especially, you know, you and your partner. You can feel like, okay, I'm still feeling like she's putting on something and she's still in love with him. So for me, if he says to me, I want you to meet her, I just still want to be close, I want to be friends with her, we're just friends, I don't want to be with her that way. And if you're uncomfortable, I'll eliminate this friendship. I'll probably be like, okay, you know, I'll meet her and I'll kind of discern from there. But for me, I get where you're coming from with the female aspect. Like, you can't control what she tries to do, and you can't control what he tries to do. So it's kind of like you have to just have trust.
And some people just aren't trusting. I know myself.
Yeah.
And I know how I feel about situations. I'm a very territorial person. So I'm a very jealous person by nature.
You're
and it's not
not
about an insecurity that I have. Because I'm not insecure about myself.
Got you.
I just don't like to share.
Okay. I don't like to share.
I don't want to share my man.
I don't know, like I don't like to share my man, definitely. But I am somebody who's a bit open-minded. If I get bored, I may, you know, I may be like, you know, let's throw, like, you know, I'd be like, let's throw somebody in the ring just one time, you know. I mean, you know, let's just, you know.
No.
But that would be between me and him.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a whole other subject.
That's a whole other. We can go there.
That's a whole other subject.
We can go to that subject.
That's a whole other subject.
But for me, I feel like, okay, this is my thing. The rules should only apply in your relationship. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
What do you feel about that?
I mean, okay, when I want to go back to what you said really quickly though. You said if he said I'll eliminate it and work through all of that. I'm going to give the opportunity a chance because I don't want him to feel like I don't trust him.
Right.
But I do need him to understand that if I'm not feeling the situation or her, I'm already going into it at a 30% with a yes. So then I need him to respect that.
Right.
Because I do feel like what you're saying, if we are in a relationship, the relationship with me should be priority over any other friendship relationships.
Yes,
I'm not talking about family, but friendship relationships, our relationship should always be priority.
Absolutely.
So if it's not, then there's probably more to the situation than what's really meeting the eye.
I agree.
So that's where I'm standing on that situation.
I agree. I do agree that give him a
tricky.
chance.
It's messy.
It is tricky.
To me, it's messy.
Well, I don't know. Like, I have a lot of guy friends.
I do too, but I've never been intimate with them.
Well, I can't say. I'm thinking
I've never been intimate with any man that I am friends with right now.
Really?
I've never been intimate. Any relationships I've had, serious relationships, I don't speak with any of them except for my kid's father. I end things.
See, I feel like the best friendships sometimes happen when you started dating and it was intimate, but it just didn't work out, and you remain friends. You just remain strictly friends for like years. I
don't want to be friends with my
years have went by. Really? I have to listen. Some of my relationships started out as really good friends.
But I mean, that's different.
You know, and so when it ended, it went back to friendships.
Okay.
You know, and so, but I get it. Like, if my partner was like, I ain't feeling like you was dating him at one point and you was intimate with him. You know, if we're serious, I would have to probably make that sacrifice, and just eliminate
that situation.
But I just hope that he would have enough trust within me to know that, listen, I'm an open book.
Yeah.
And you ask me anything, I'm going to tell you. I'm an open book. I really truly believe in being honest, and honesty and open communication.
but not every man is good at that. Women are better at that than men. True. So when you're dealing with a man, men have a sneaky tendency about them already. Now you want me to trust you with a woman you used to be intimate with? No, I don't think so, buddy.
Yeah.
You're sitting right there. I'm not even having a conversation with her. I'm ready to walk out the door already.
I feel you. I'm just thinking about me, and I know. See, I like to. When it comes to these conversations, I like to put myself in those shoes. Like, okay,
that's what I'm doing.
Right. What if it was? And I'm thinking about my current situation. Like, I have a lot of guy friends who are just friends, who I would never want to be with on that level again.
Yeah.
And they would have, like, in my head, nothing to worry about. Yeah. But if they ask me, like, this is making me feel uncomfortable, I'm thinking, what if it was me? You know?
Well, there's a situation, like, I have a very good friend. Me and him never been intimate, never nothing, just straight friends. He went through a divorce. I've been there for him through that because I went through a divorce, so it was a common thing for us. His girlfriend now knows who I am. I've never met her. She's looked you up on Instagram. She's very intimidated by you. She wants to know why I've never brought you around, why you always meet I'm like, I've made me uncomfortable that she felt that way.
Right.
Because I don't want to make somebody feel that way. I know my intentions are I have no interest in him whatsoever.
Right.
And I felt bad that I said, well, why don't you just have me? I guess she said, why don't we go on a double? He said, she's involved with somebody. You don't have to worry about it. She's like, well, why have we never gone on a double date? And I feel like it's odd for a guy that's an odd situation because guys need to already, I feel like, know each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why don't you just have her come out one time and she can meet me? And he was like, no. I said, well, that's your issue. So I backed off from my friendship with him because of that. I don't want to be the reason why they're not together because I'm the reason they're arguing. Because he said they've argued. I don't want to be a part of that.
I feel like guys feel like, and I hope the guys, chime in because we are, talking about this live. I hope the guys, I feel like guys feel like the guy, they're not worried about their woman. They're worried more so about the guy and the guy's intentions. Yeah. And I just feel like, if you trust me, why are you worried about his intentions? If you trust me, why are you worried about his intentions? And so that's a quandary to me.
Well, just like with myself, I don't trust her.
Right.
I wouldn't trust her. But a lot of the issue, I'm going to be honest, it's about me. So it's my issue. But at the same time, if you're in a relationship with me, then you need to respect my feelings about it more than you need to respect her feelings about it. So that's a decision that you're going to have. If I'm not okay with it, and she's like, well, this isn't fair, whose side are you taking? If you take hers, then the relationship is over.
What do you need from your man to make you feel secure with him? What do you need? I gotta, let's go down the list of things you need. This conversation took a totally different. Because that was interesting. You just said something, and it made me think because it's important, and we hope that our partners know, but I ain't gonna lie, guys don't know.
But I don't want to divulge all of that because I don't know who's watching this. So that's giving people a key into who I am and how to get to me, and I don't want to. So we're gonna keep it a little more general.
Totally get that. Totally understand. But you still can tell when somebody's BS.
Yeah, I think if I walk in a room with a female, I'm going to know, even if they're not, I know what females in the room want my man. Just like he probably knows what men in the room want me. We're able to pick up that vibe.
Right.
So she wouldn't be able to hide that from me.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, I'm not going to sit there and listen to your BS.
Right.
I'm like, it's time to go. You staying or you coming? That's your decision right there.
Right.
Because I'm not debating anything with you in front of her.
Now, what if your man said, I already know what your answer gonna be. What if your man said, I wanna, throw a female in the bunch. I just wanna throw her in there, just one time.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why?
I'm not sharing my man like that. There's too many things. Look, I know. Literally, I watched a little conversation about this before. There are too many things that can go wrong.
Okay.
One, okay, say she's a new person.
Okay.
Okay, it's new. That's new for a man. So
True.
a man is going to be more interested in the new
True.
than you. So then you're going to feel a certain type of way.
True.
Now, if it's an old chick, you're like, hold on. So you two are still talking? How did she even come up in this situation?
Yeah,
I feel now I'm questioning. Now I want to know.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Look, if I'm in a serious relationship with you, it's you and me.
It's
I'm
you and me,
trying.
yeah.
You know, I don't have casual sex. I don't have casual relationships. I have serious relationships. So for me, I'm trying to be in a serious relationship. I'm trying to get married.
Yeah.
Those are the things I'm trying to reach in my relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing.
What
all
does
the
marriage
other
mean
BS.
for you? What does marriage mean for you? I feel like it means different things for everybody.
To me, it's a security.
Okay.
It's a
Security and financially or
No, just emotionally.
or all of
it's
that.
emotional. Financial part doesn't matter to me. To me, it's emotional.
Emotional.
Abandonment issues. So it's like you're marrying me. You're telling me like I'm never going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And people say you don't need a piece of paper for that. But to me, it's not about a piece of paper. People say, oh, it's a piece of paper. I was married.
Yeah.
People that say that have never been married.
Well, that's right. You were, yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
So it's not about a piece of paper.
See, I feel like you have a different dynamic because you were married before.
So I hold relationships in a different standard, a different
well, you
way.
have
I
a
look at them in
different,
light.
yeah. So what do you feel like you learned from your last marriage, and what do you feel like is going to be different this time around?
In the beginning, okay, so if you asked him what the issue was, he would tell you I was very cold.
Okay.
I was very, very cold, and I just wasn't in tune with him at all. But a lot of it was because of his actions, so I just stepped back. So, and I wouldn't compromise. In the beginning. Towards the end I did. I wasn't understanding about things. I wouldn't compromise on issues. I wanted everything just totally my way. Some people may say I'm still like that, but I'm really not. I'm very
Is that a
understanding.
coping mechanism? Or is that like
What,
just
the
a
whole
guard?
being cold?
Yeah.
I'm good at just cutting you off.
Okay.
That's why if I end a relationship, I may give you a lot of chances. But once I'm done, you're never going to hear from me again. Like, I'm done. Cut you off. It's over. So that's just how my ex-husband is the only ex that we have 3 kids together though. So we have to deal with each other and we're good friends and so we have a good relationship to deal with our kids. But if I don't have any kids with you, I don't have anything to say to you. Our relationship is over. I'm moving on to the next phase. If it's another person or me by myself, I'm not bringing that baggage with me.
Right.
So for me, I'm just going to cut you off. So when I'm cold, I'm getting to that point of I'm slowly separating myself from you to prepare for never speaking to you again.
And how different are you now, or how different do you see a marriage now as far as how you handle or resolve issues? Are you still cold, or do you feel like you would be a little bit different today?
I'd be a little different
Yeah.
today.
How so?
I'll probably give you more opportunity to explain. I'll be more understanding about things. I really would just sit there and act like I'm listening.
Wait, in the past you would?
I was sitting there looking at him like, did you hear? No, I didn't hear anything. Literally, I'm somewhere else because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I had a very disillusional type of view on how a relationship should go. And it's just not the way things are these days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be, I always say, like, the little cookie cutter way of a relationship, the way America sees, a happy, healthy relationship. That was the vision I had of how a relationship should be.
Yeah.
And I had to grow and understand that, no, it's about, there's 3 people in a relationship. It's 3 entities to the relationship. It's you, him, and the relationship.
Yeah.
So he has to be happy, you have to be happy, and that's how you're happy in the relationship. And I didn't really care whether he was happy or not. Like, I just wanted me to be happy. I just wanted what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I don't think that way anymore. I understand that I need to make sure he's happy. But I can't make sure he's happy if he's not making me, that's the thing. Like, then it feels very just one-sided.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's where that balance comes in.
It's interesting because you and I talked about something and I really thought about it, and I said, she has a really, really, really good point. When you're married, your perspective is a little different than as a single woman.
It is.
Now, me as a single woman, I'm thinking like, I don't really need a legal documentation. I don't really need all these things. I can just be okay with us being like committed to each other.
Yeah.
But when you really get into the thick of it, you know what I mean? When you're in the thick of it, when you've been living together for I don't know how many years, maybe 10 years or more.
Yeah.
And it's like, at that point, it's like, do you marry and get that legal representation and make it and solidify it, or do you not? And I thought about that, like, would I feel the same if I was in like a really long-term relationship, and would I be so free-spirited then?
I don't think you would.
You know what I mean? It makes me question. It makes me question it, and I just go, because you do want security.
Yeah.
In a relationship,
Exactly.
you do want, and I was talking about this on the last show too, about how I wouldn't necessarily need it. But then I thought about it, like, maybe you never know. I'll never say never.
Yeah.
You never know how you're going to feel when you're in the thick of it.
Exactly.
And you're in this relationship, quote unquote, for the last 10 years, okay? Maybe you've had a child, maybe not, or whatever. And you're already indoctrinated into the family. You're already rooted into this relationship. You know, at that point, you know, do you need to just jump over the broom? Do you go ahead and do it, or do you not? And that's kind of my question. You know, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of in the middle.
I don't think you'll know until it happens. And I think people do it for the wrong reasons. Because they had kids. You don't get married because you have kids.
Right.
You don't stay in a relationship because you have kids.
Right.
And then you have family pressure. And then you have the outside, you know, the girlfriends who you shouldn't get any advice from. Well, he hasn't married you, and why, you know, all the ones that do all of that. You don't listen to any of that. It's between you and him. It's what is right for the two of you. Some people don't ever need to get married. They don't ever want to.
Right.
Some people want to, and people, you just want the title, or you just want. It's not about that. Because I was married, there is a difference. I don't care what anybody says. There is a difference from when we and him were boyfriend and girlfriend, and from when me and him were married. There was a difference in our relationship and how we were with each other. He is now my husband. I'm his wife. We are one. You can be one in a relationship, but it's not the same.
How so? Why you feel like that? Because I'm on the fence. I'm like on the fence. You know,
It really
I'm
just
in the middle.
It depends how intimate your relationship is.
Okay.
Like, he raised me. You know, I met him at a very young age. He was older than me, and so our relationship was just very. In the beginning, it was a little different than what it was around the time we got married. But it was just he was my best friend. We had fun together. It was just very, very different than a normal type relationship. So, if you saw him, you saw me. You know, we were very attached at the hip, and we had kids, but everything was about our kids. So it just felt like the way to complete our family for us. So that's why it worked for us.
Okay.
But
would you make different choices this time around as far as why you want to be married?
Yeah, because it's not about us being a family with kids.
Yeah.
I can't have kids, so there will be no more kids.
Yes. You look so young. I'm just like, oh my God, I keep forgetting your age. Anyways, continue on.
You can say my age. I'm not ashamed of
I
my
have
age.
no idea how old you are. I know how old I am.
41.
Oh, okay. We're the same age. All right.
So, it wouldn't be about the kids.
Okay.
I just refuse to be a girlfriend for the rest of my life. So, like, everybody has their non-negotiable things. Like, there are things that I will not negotiate on in a relationship. Being married is one of them for me.
Really? Okay.
So, if I'm not going to get married...
What are the other things you won't negotiate on?
More private, but...
I'm like, what are the other things
bringing another person into the marriage.
Okay.
Or into the relationship. I'm not negotiating on that either.
I do. I will say I'm on the fence on that one too, because I get bored. But then I am very possessive. I am,
exactly.
And I want my person just to myself, and I get jealous. So it's probably not for me.
And that would be my fear, is that
but
I've thought about it, but I always think, okay, in the midst of this situation, if I get jealous, it's going to be a problem. And
for
so
sure.
I would rather not take that chance.
Yes, somebody's going to get their feelings involved somehow.
Exactly, and I know
whether it's the third
exactly.
person that just like, I like you, or I like you, and I want to hang around, or yeah.
I don't know what
Isn't
her
that
intention.
a movie? I think that's a movie. Wasn't a movie made?
There was a movie. I don't know which one it was, but there
that's
was.
a movie. I don't even know the name of the movie, but it was with one of my favorite. Matter of fact, Shamar Moore played in a movie like
you're
that.
thinking about a different one.
No. I'm pretty sure Shamar. It was Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Anyways.
Okay.
But yes, I girl, it's like, I don't know. Like, I want marriage to be fun. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't like constrictions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. I am kind of like a Gemini. I want the roof off the house so I can fly out at any time, and I want to come back and know that my person trusts me enough to come back, and that I'm not out here being disrespectful of our relationship or our marriage or what have you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything, that is outside of our rules, our boundaries.
Yeah.
And I just haven't found that. I have not found a guy who is going to be okay with being with a woman that is super powerful, super okay within herself, super attractive, super intelligent, funny, charismatic, like all of these things. I have yet to find a guy that appreciates that and will be committed to me and nurturing. I need a nurturing guy. I really do.
But that's one of your number one problems. That's
I mean,
guys are not like that these days.
No, and I'm wondering why. What is it about guys right now where it's just like they like to be nurturing is just the weakest thing on earth. It's like the scariest thing. It's like a level of vulnerability that a guy does not want.
Go there.
You know what I mean? They won't go there.
I can't answer.
I don't
why
understand.
They won't go there. I feel like guys are the way they are these days is mostly because of women.
Okay,
I keep saying that.
Expound on that. Expound, because I have my thoughts.
There are women like us.
Okay.
We have standards and we have boundaries.
Right.
I put this on Facebook all the time, and I get in huge arguments about it. But this is how I feel.
You do. You rail about
I don't care. I am true to this. There are respectable women and there are hoes. Okay.
Yes.
And the hoes are the reason why these men are the way they are right now.
Yeah.
I don't blame the men so much. If you have a woman, me and you standing over here, and we have all these standards and all these expectations, and we're asking you to step up to a certain level. Now you have this chick over here is like, you can call me at 10 o'clock, I'll come.
Whatever you want.
And then I'll leave and you can call me in 2 more weeks and I'll show up. What do you think he's gonna do?
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry, he wants the woman with no ex. Women are creating the monster.
I agree with you.
Well, no, not women. Hoes are creating the monster.
But it's not just hoes. It's actually women with standards too that are creating that monster. And now hear me out.
Tell me.
Hear me out. Because good women do that. I feel like that's just enabling bad behavior. I feel like that is a universal woman thing that we do, not just hoes, but just a universal woman thing.
What are you saying? So he's
calling in the middle of the night to come through.
Or anytime.
And it's like we really like him and we're really into him, so okay, I'll let you come over at 1, 2 in the morning.
But see, I don't.
And it's like, but some good women will
because
still
they're so
do
desperate
that.
for that. I'm not doing
And
that.
I don't think it's just about desperateness. It's just, I ain't gonna lie, I've done it for guys.
But is it for random guys or for a man you're involved with?
No, not for random guys.
Okay, a man you're involved with is different.
But it's not though. It's the same behavior. It's the same thing that you're talking about. I have allowed men to be comfortable and okay with not putting in their work.
Okay, yeah.
I have allowed, and I mean, I've allowed some men to just get comfortable with me, like catering to them and nurturing them and not watering the flower, so to speak.
Exactly.
And nurturing the flower so that the flower can grow and be like like this free spirit as it is. And so when you get to that level, though, of knowing and realizing, then it's all a game changer.
It is.
Because then it becomes even more less opportunities of men that really speak to you at that point.
Exactly.
Because at that point, when you have knowing, like, okay, I've been dealing with guys that have been selfish.
Oh, they're very selfish.
You know what I mean? And so when you get to that level of knowing, then your options become extremely limited.
Extremely.
Extremely.
Like,
and that's,
you're almost kind of like, I don't even need to deal with men anymore.
I'm good with focusing on career and doing this and talking to my.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I love the smell of a man. I love the
sound of a man's voice.
Oh, his voice, his being held by him, but the
drama that comes with it sometimes is not worth the peace you feel when you're with them.
The selfishness. I swear, these selfish vampires out there, and it's not just men. I mean, women can do this too to men that are good to them.
Yes.
But going back to your point, I do feel like women do set the tone.
Yeah.
I do feel like we set the tone, and if we demand to be treated a certain way, I do feel like they will either follow that
or they won't.
Or they'll just completely go away.
Exactly.
What do you think? Exactly.
If they're not going to step up, I mean, they're going to keep, a lot of men, they're not going to walk away. They're going to stay around until you say, I've had enough. You're either going to be this person or you can go do that. I mean, I'm not that, so I'm not going to allow you to treat me like that.
Right.
So, go, They normally don't just leave. They're because they want what they want.
Sure.
They're going to tell you what you want to hear so they can get what they want, being selfish. They're going to play the game.
What would you tell to a beautiful young woman right now? Like, what would you tell her? Like, seriously, what would you tell her to, like, okay, avoid, to know, and to, avoid, know, and learn?
I feel like as a young woman, one, you have to be very independent. And I don't mean, I see this all the time too, not independent where I don't need a man for anything. Every woman needs a man. Not in the sense that I need a man to help me pay my bills, I need a man to do this. No, you need a man because human nature, you want somebody to love. You need companionship. But you cannot be a strong woman and be able to let go of things that aren't good for you if you aren't independent, if you haven't got educated, if you can't pay your bills, then you're dependent on somebody for something. You can get yourself in a situation where you need that relationship for more than just the relationship. So just make sure you are a solid woman by yourself. If you're a solid woman by yourself, yes, if you fall in love, it's hard to walk away. But if you see yourself, I made this post, if you see yourself falling in love with a man that does not love you, walk away before it gets too deep. Because as women, we think, I can change him. I want to be the one to change him. He's going to change for me because I'm gorgeous and because everybody wants me.
But men don't change for that.
Men don't change for that.
No.
Men change because they want to change.
Oh, yeah.
So until he finds the woman that is everything he wants and needs and all that, or he's ready, he's not going to change for you.
No, not at all.
At all.
He's
not going to make the steps. So just be a solid woman.
Be a solid woman.
For yourself. Just for yourself. Because it gives you a sense of freedom, a sense of just empowerment, just knowing you can take care of you without anybody else. You feel like a very strong person that way. And then just watch the signs. Like, you know if somebody's treating you good.
Yeah.
So don't get in too deep with somebody that's not treating you good.
What do you mean by watch the signs? What signs?
I mean, they're going to be different for everybody because we all want different things out of a relationship. We all want different things from a man.
Yeah.
So just pay attention to the things that are important to you. What's important to me is going to be different than what's important to you. So if I've expressed to you, I need you to not do this. I don't like when you do this. Or, I need you to do more of this because that makes me feel a certain way. And they just aren't listening to you. They have no interest. They have no interest in making you feel happy.
Yeah. For sure.
Don't keep pursuing the situation. You're not going to change him.
Absolutely.
So it's going to save you a lot of heartache. Yeah, you might be upset in the beginning, but if you're with this person for years, it's going to be a lot more painful. They're engulfed in your life now, maybe your kids, your family. now you're used to this person being around.
What would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self, like 20 years ago?
To not get married to the person.
Really? Really? But he kind of made you who you are today, though.
I mean, in some sense, I mean, I don't ever regret my children. You know,
Yeah.
I love that I have my children.
Yeah.
But I had a totally different dream for my life that I went a totally different way because I engulfed myself into this relationship. And so now I'm not with that person anymore, and the dream that I had for myself since a little girl, I'm not doing what I love.
What was that dream?
I want to do makeup and hair, you know,
Yeah.
like in the beauty industry.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my passion. That's what I'm good at.
Okay.
So
Now, are you taking steps to?
I am,
Okay.
but it's going to take me a while
Wow.
to do all the things I want to do, and I could have already had my own salon.
But-
I have all these dreams of things that I could have already established.
Right.
Or even if I did stay in that relationship, not focus so much on him.
Got you.
Made myself the priority, because if I made myself the priority, it's better for my kids in the long run, and it's better. Just take a moment. No, I don't have to be a priority through the whole situation, but in that moment, be a priority for myself, because long run, it's better for everybody. And I just didn't do that.
Yeah. I think we as women, when we start having a family, I think in general we just
Feel guilty.
put our feelings and our needs and our wants
to the side.
on the back burner. We really do.
That's what I did.
And we just say, okay, I'll tend to it later, or I'll tend to it, down the road, and then down the road becomes years later, and then it becomes just something that is just like a dream and in our minds. So.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was enrolled in school. But I said, I'm having this baby. I need to take care of this. So I was like, I can't do that.
But I have a feeling like if you would have done it back then, you might not have been as successful as you would be today.
I mean, I'll never know.
I think you would, because you've learned, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but you've learned so much
I have.
since then. I think that now you're more refined and more wise. Like you're like the wise queen.
No, I'm not.
Like
I'm really not.
And I feel like now you would be a lot more stable and a lot more like wiser to make those good business decisions. I don't know, what do you think?
Business wise, yeah. Now I'm going to be smarter in the sense. I mean, at a young age, I didn't know anything about that. I just knew what I wanted to do.
Right.
I just know I didn't want to play with Barbie dolls anymore. I had the little mannequin heads, and I had all this. I've always just been my thing. I wanted to do it on people.
Right.
I wanted to take that to people.
Yeah.
So that's what, and I just never got to do that. So,
yeah.
So I get ready. Why does it take you 3 hours to get ready? It really doesn't take me that long. I'm just the only person that I get to work on for that day, and that's what I love to do. So I'm going to take my time. Yeah. Because it's what I love to do. It's not a job to me.
Yeah.
I love makeup. I love hair. I love doing different things, but I only can do it on myself. So
absolutely,
I take as long as I want because it's what I enjoy. I'm like, okay, the rest of the day I'm doing stuff I really don't want to do, so I'm going to enjoy this little few hours while I can.
Yeah.
So
if I had to tell a younger woman or give a younger woman advice, I would tell her number one thing is that you're okay. I feel like when I was like in my 20s, I was just like, am I going to be okay? What am I going to do in my future?
It's stressful.
It was stressful. And in the 20s, like those years were like, you're just out of college and you're still like, even though you're out of college, you think you know it all, but you don't.
You don't.
You totally don't. And I would just probably tell her, you're going to be okay. Your future is really, really bright.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is follow your North Star. Like, just keep following your heart. And so I would tell her, number one, you'll be okay. And then number two, like, listen to your instincts.
Yes.
Because as we're talking about, I mentioned it earlier, but, if your boyfriend, girlfriend wants to like still hang out with their ex and they're still close with them, for me, if I meet them, instinctually I am going to know.
Yeah, you're gonna know what her intentions
I'm going to know if she's still trying to get with him. I feel like back in my 20s, I did not really realize of how much of a higher sixth sense I had about just things in general.
Yours is more than others, but a woman's natural instinct within a situation, when something just isn't right, it is real.
It is boundless, especially
more.
especially if you have children. That motherly instincts kick in too, and that is a higher level of instincts as well. And so I feel like, you know, in my 20s, I knew so many things. I knew it in my gut, and I just did not trust it. I didn't follow it, and I didn't trust it, and I didn't follow it. And I can name time and time again, thinking back, like, if you would have listened to yourself, you wouldn't have gotten this situation. If you would have trusted yourself, it would have been a totally different.
I still do it to this day, though. And I think because you second guess yourself. You say, okay, am I overreacting because of past experiences? Am I overreacting? And so then someone's telling you you're overreacting. Someone's telling you that you're crazy. And so you're sitting there like, okay, maybe I'm overreacting because of this. And I'm bringing this situation into this, and that's not fair. And so I feel like at an older age, you are wiser, but it becomes a struggle because of everything you've been through.
True. And that leads me to number 3. Who you were yesterday is not who you are. You can choose to be something completely different tomorrow or today. And that is something that I feel is so hard to really understand and grasp for most people, like who you were in the past and what you went through in your struggles. Now, I don't want to say that your history doesn't make a difference. It does. It does. It's a part of your history. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be your future. It doesn't have to be who you are today. And so for me, I totally would just be like, listen. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna make some mistakes, and don't sit in that. It's okay. It's gonna be okay, and you're okay. So I would just definitely tell her all of that. Like, seriously, like, and I was thinking about this. I get these thoughts, and anyways. Going back to the subject of friends. Now, do you feel like there are healthy boundaries that you could put in place can men and women be friends, period?
Yes. Men and women for sure can be friends.
So you feel like only if they haven't been intimate?
I feel like you can if you have been intimate, but I feel like there needs to be boundaries. And I feel like the situation is very circumstantial. Like, I can't say, yes, I'm going to allow it. There's too many factors that go into the situation. Of course, my initial reaction is no. Okay. But I'm not going to just be like, no, you can't. This is a grown person. They can choose to do whatever they choose to do. I cannot tell somebody what to do. All I can do is express my feelings. They're not going to respect my feelings if I haven't looked at everything with open, if I haven't given this other person a chance, if I haven't listened to them as to how long were you guys together, if I haven't just heard them out on the subjects, I don't feel like that's fair. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So, of course, my initial reaction is no, but I'm going to listen. I'm going to be objective. I'm going to take their feelings into consideration.
Okay, so your first initial reaction is no, even if they haven't been intimate with this person.
No, the friendship thing is fine.
Like, what if they just grew up with them?
For me, it just depends. Okay, there's certain boundaries for me that are not acceptable. Like I said, this girl isn't calling you in the morning, calling you at night. That's what y'all ain't sitting on the phone all day, texting you all the time. Y'all are not meeting up personally by yourself. Now, in a group setting, people have friends. You know, you go out, hey, you want to buy them a drink. You guys want to sit and talk. You guys have the same friends. You're in the same group of people. All of that stuff is fine. But if you are in a relationship, you're not going to go out on date night with her, and I'm sitting at home.
That's a no.
That's not happening.
That's not gonna happen.
She needs to go find her own situation and her own man. You are not having an emotional relationship with my man.
Total facts.
I'm not tolerating that. You're not calling my man at 11 o'clock because you're upset about stuff. No. Call your girl or call somebody that's single. We're not doing, those are just things I'm not okay with.
And that was so funny when we went over the side chick etiquette. You remember that? When Alcina popped out, oh my God, with that whole Jada Pinkett Alcina situation, it was hilarious.
Side chick etiquette.
And we talked about side chick etiquette. That was hilarious. We have to have an episode about that later.
Because you need to know your place.
Yeah, you need to know your place.
place.
And it made me think about side chick etiquette. Like, don't, if you're a side chick, don't be calling.
Essentially, I feel like that's what that situation would be.
Wait.
She's trying to be a side chick
Yeah.
without the intimacy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Don't be calling in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Talking about some,
I don't.
no. Some dumb questions.
Just to me,
what you doing?
That's why I said it's messy.
Like
I don't
what?
want to deal with messy. I don't want to have to constantly question a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, look, have female friends in the context of we see people out, y'all are cool. Once y'all talk on Facebook and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But as far as them being an intimate part of our life, no. Because if they're an intimate part of your life, they're an intimate part of my life.
I don't want them to be, that's
my point.
We're not going out all the time, no.
Mm-mm.
But if you are like talking to them and say, hey babe, I'm talking to such and such, and I'm like, all right, and it's not like a whole hour conversation, it's just like, oh, chit-chatting, and I can hear them, and it's like just a friendly conversation, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's calling to see how you're doing.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to you in a few months. How you doing? I haven't seen you.
But but don't be having hours of conversation.
Exactly, the whole
and calling,
day.
and every day. It's just like, okay.
And again, it depends like on her temperament.
Yeah.
What type of person is she?
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. It could be somebody we just see in the store we're walking past. If they are being ignorant to me in the sense of I'm not even there, they're invisible to me, I'm going to have a problem with you because you're putting their feelings before you're putting mine. That needs to be a situation where we keep it moving and you don't talk to her.
So do you feel like men and women can be friends in general?
Yeah.
You do?
I mean, I have a lot of male friends.
Just not in an intimate
capacity. Just not in an intimate way.
Just not in an intimate
way. The lines, you can end up being vulnerable in a situation for whatever you're going through, and then men don't look at sex in an emotional way.
No, they don't.
That's why there's a problem with that for me. Women do, but a lot of women, if she doesn't have good intentions, that's where there's going to be a problem.
That's true.
Women are more emotional about it. Not all. Obviously, the hoes aren't. The hoes think just like the men.
Right.
But, most. I'm sorry. That is like my thing.
Right.
But I feel like a woman, with some substance and some standards about herself, it's an emotional thing. That's why she has standards.
True that.
Because it's an emotional thing, so she's not giving herself to everybody.
Not all women have an emotional connection to sex. Some women literally can detach themselves.
Yes, some can.
From the emotional part of sex and just enjoy sex. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. But it is a fine line. I do think men and women can be friends.
Yeah, me too.
I do think it can be worked out if you have like a really close friend and you're in a relationship. It can be worked through if you have that trust there. I do think trust is so important in that respect. And I do feel like the trust is built when that person says, hey, if this is making you uncomfortable, I'm just going to eliminate
And
this.
they don't even have to say that.
Right.
I feel like they need to say, look, let's sit down and have a conversation about what boundaries you're comfortable with. And they respect those boundaries.
Right. Exactly.
So if you're dealing with a person that's like, well, that's my friend, she's been my friend, and that's what I'm going to do, and you have to deal with it, I'm out the door. I'm not, what is the point of it? But if you're somebody who is, open to conversation, and I can tell you care about all of that thing, nurturing in the situation, then, I mean, of course your man isn't going to respect you if you're like, no, I'm not doing any of that.
Right.
I would want him to be like, no, I'm walking out the door. I mean, that's just being selfish. Because you're not thinking about him. You're not thinking about him and his happiness. Yeah,
right.
So now you're being selfish.
Right.
So you have to, it's a give and take.
It's a give and take.
It's definitely a give and take.
I know we are at the time, and I told you this conversation you don't realize the time when you are having such a great conversation, but we are going to continue this next week when we talk about relationships again. I do also have some relationship experts on here that I may have on here, so definitely tune in next time at Sharing with Sheri. Thank you, Jina, so much for being here. Oh my God, we have to get you back on. Do we need to get her back on? Yes, we do. We need to get Jina back on here.
Well, we'll probably have this conversation later.
All right, later. I was like, girl, I thought she was going, girl. Sorry, no. Tune in next time on Sharing with Sheri. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Love and peace always.